In 1945, a farmer in Upper Egypt named Muhammad Ali al-Saman was digging for fertilizer near a cliff called Jabal al-Tarif. His mattock hit a sealed red earthenware jar.
He hesitated. Local legend said the jar might contain a jinn. His hunger for gold won. He smashed it open. Inside, 13 leather-bound papyrus books wrapped in protective covers. He had no idea what they were.
His mother burned several of them as kindling before anyone recognized their significance. One of the greatest discoveries in the history of religion, partially destroyed as cooking fuel. This is how close we came to never knowing any of it.
What survived, 52 texts in Coptic translation, dating in their current form to the 3rd and 4th centuries AD. But the originals, the Greek documents they were translated from, are estimated by scholars to date as far back as the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, contemporaneous with the New Testament documents.
Who wrote them? A movement called the Gnostics, from the Greek gnosis, meaning knowledge, not belief, not faith, knowledge, direct, experiential, interior knowledge of the divine. They represented a form of early Christianity that was declared heresy and systematically destroyed.
The Gospel of Thomas is the most significant. It contains 114 sayings of Jesus, presented with no narrative, no miracles, no theology, just the words. Scholars estimate portions of it may predate the canonical Gospels. It was known to exist for centuries. No one knew where it was. It was in that jar.
Saying 3 of Thomas. If those who lead you say to you, "See, the kingdom is in the sky," then the birds of the sky will precede you. If they say to you, "It is in the sea," then the fish will precede you. Rather, the kingdom is inside of you, and it is outside of you.
Saying 70. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. This is not about external salvation. This is internal alchemy. It is what the Gnostics were teaching.
The Gnostic map of reality begins here. This world was not created by the ultimate God. It was created by a lesser being, the Demiurge, who operated with power, but without full wisdom. This is the starting point of everything they taught.
The word demiurge comes from Plato, who used it neutrally to mean craftsman. The Gnostics took the term and made it specific. The craftsman who built this world was not working from a perfect template. He was working from a distorted reflection of the divine original.
Above the demiurge is the pleroma, the fullness, the realm of divine light that existed before this universe. The pleroma contains the aeons, divine emanations of the true source, each one expressing a different quality of the infinite. Sophia is one of them.
Sophia, wisdom, had a desire. She wanted to know the source directly, without her consort, acting alone. That desire generated something she could not control. An accidental emanation, imperfect, powerful, blind to what was above it. That is the demiurge. He was not created intentionally. He was an accident of longing.
The demiurge, sometimes called Yaldabaoth, created the material world and then made a declaration. In the Apocryphon of John, he says, "I am a jealous God, and there is no other God beside me." The Gnostics' point, that is exactly what a God who doesn't know what's above him would say.
The human condition in Gnostic cosmology, within each person, or at least within those who have the capacity, there is a divine spark, a fragment of the pleroma, trapped in matter, forgotten, obscured. The task of Gnostic practice is to remember what you are, break the conditioning of the material world, and return the spark to its source.
Now, the 3 types of human beings. The Hylix, entirely identified with the material world, no access to the spark. The Psychics, partially awakened, capable of faith but not direct knowledge. The Pneumatics, those in whom the divine spark is active and seeking.
This is not an elitist claim. It is a developmental observation. A seed that has not germinated is not defective. It is not yet ready. The Gnostics were not saying most people are inferior. They were saying most people are at a different point in a very long process.
The Council of Nicaea in 325 AD did not just define the canon, it defined who Jesus was. Divine from eternity, second person of the Trinity. This decision was not unanimous. Arius argued Jesus was a created being. He lost. The Emperor Constantine sided against him. Politics decided theology.
What was voted out at Nicaea? Any version of Christianity that did not center institutional authority. The Gnostic reading, where salvation is internal, where the church is not the mediator, where direct experience supersedes doctrine, that version had to go. It gave the institution nothing to do.
Athanasius of Alexandria wrote his Easter letter in 367 AD. It listed for the first time the 27 books of the New Testament as canonical. It explicitly ordered all other texts destroyed. That letter is the reason the Nag Hammadi texts were hidden. Someone buried them instead of burning them.
The same year the texts were ordered destroyed, 367 AD, is the approximate date the jar was sealed and buried. Whoever buried them knew exactly what they were hiding and exactly why. They expected to come back. They never did. The text sat for 1,578 years.
The Gospel of Philip contains the line, "The Lord said it in a mystery, the Father of everything united with the Virgin who came down." It also describes Jesus kissing Mary Magdalene on the manuscript is damaged there. The word is missing. The Gnostics portrayed Mary Magdalene as the closest disciple and the one who most fully understood his teaching.
Thunder, Perfect Mind, one of the most unusual texts, is a poem spoken in the first person by a divine feminine voice. I am the whore and the Holy One. I am the wife and the virgin. I am the mother and the daughter. This is not about a historical figure. This is a cosmological feminine principle speaking directly.
Elaine Pagels, Harvard scholar and author of the Gnostic Gospels, argues that the Gnostics offered a version of Christianity fundamentally incompatible with institutional structure. No bishops needed, no sacraments required. The divine is directly accessible within you. An institution built on that theology employs no one.
Here is what the Nag Hammadi discovery changed. It proved the early Christian movement was not a unified tradition that split into heresies. It was a diverse field of competing approaches from the beginning. The Orthodox version won not because it was more accurate, but because it was better organized and better politically connected.
Carl Jung saw the Nag Hammadi texts as confirmation of everything he had found in the unconscious minds of his patients. The Gnostic archetypes, Sophia, the demiurge, the pleroma, mapped directly onto what he called the self, the ego, and the unconscious. He was reading them as psychology.
The Jung Institute purchased a copy of the Jung Codex before the texts were fully published. Jung worked with scholars on the translation. He died in 1961 before the full library was available in English, which didn't happen until 1977. He spent the last decade of his life with partial access to the most significant psychological document he would ever encounter.
The synchronicity cannot be ignored. 1945, the atomic bomb. 1945, Nag Hammadi. 1947, the Dead Sea Scrolls. In the same 3-year window that humanity gained the capacity to destroy itself, it was handed, unbidden, 2 libraries of suppressed inner wisdom. Whether you call that providence or probability, the timing is extraordinary.
What the Gnostic texts offer that the canonical Bible does not: a cosmology that explains suffering without blaming humans for a fall. The world is imperfect because it was made imperfectly, not because Adam and Eve disobeyed. That frame removes the guilt that prevents clear seeing.
The Gnostic Christ did not come to die for your sins. He came to wake you up. His mission was anamnesis, the Greek word for remembering what you forgot. The Gnostics said the only thing standing between you and the pleroma is the amnesia of this world. The teacher's job is to help you remember. That's all.
The Nag Hammadi Library is available in English. The Gospel of Thomas is online. The Apocryphon of John is online. The tools for your own investigation are in your hands right now. The only question is whether you use them. That question is older than any institution that ever tried to stop you from asking it.